Okay, Aries, we're going to do your what's the major issue for May. Now, I have the flu, so I'm going to probably cut it short just a touch, but we're going to get you what you need to know. Pull them from the majors, and then we're going to clarify with the whole deck. Do some oracle action at the end. All right, so Aries, what do we need to know about life, finances, and relationships? What can Aries consider in May for life, finance, and relationships? Here we go. So, these are going to be upright. Life, you have the Devil. Finances, etc., you have the Empress, which is Earth Mother. And then we have relationships is Justice. So we're going to pull the challenges, but reading off the top. The Devil, in life, I think you're just overall trying to figure out what is good for you and trying not to be distracted, because with the Earth Mother, there's the Empress. So you have a lot of stuff you want to start, and the relationships, you're trying to bring the balance. But there's like kind of habits you have to break. There's things that you have to get out of in order to be able to really bring these out. Because that requires balance, that requires growth. So it's like, what are the things that are hindering you? So let's pull the challenge on the Devil. We have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this is something that time kind of has to address in and of itself, because it is like kind of themes, or there's certain times when you're just like, well, okay, well, this is going too well. Gotta, like Ricky Bobby's dad in Talladega Nights, he's like, well, this is going entirely too well. So then in finances, what is our challenge? The Temperance. All right, are you, do you have issues with patience with the savings? You're like, well, I have it now. The patience of, okay, well, if I put this in there and then I sit on it and I have all this money sitting there just doing nothing. But it's one of those kind of situations where you're just like, I got it, and see how that Devil energy starts popping in. You're like, but I have it, but I need this, but do you? So then relationships, you have the Lovers. Okay, literally, that's making decisions. You have the two, scales in the Justice card. You have the two eagles, and they're sitting in their tree doing their thing. So there's kind of this constant duality that you have bopping back and forth. So now let's get into the Tarot of Mystical Moments, and we're going to get 3 on each one of these and see exactly how that's going to work out. The actionable items that you can take away from these. Okay, you want to do it this way? You want to shuffle this way? Okay. So on life, what does Aries need to know, like in general? Page of Wands, King of Cups. Give me one more. That is a chunkaroo. But Ace of Cups, 2 of Cups, King of Wands. I can't take them because it's a big chunk. And then you had 10 of Cups there. So I really think you're trying to figure out how to get to this fulfillment thing. But it's almost like you're walking down the road of life, ooh, shiny, ooh, squirrel. Like, and it's always these little detours you keep taking. So give me one last card before I start talking out of turn on this. So Page of Wands, King of Cups. What does Aries need to know? 9 of Wands. I think you kind of have to shield yourself from those distractions. If you're like bebopping along and Page of Wands is this young kind of immature energy that's just like, yo, let's go. And then King of Cups is like, trying to get control of the emotions, but it's just, see how this ship is literally sailing through her? It's like you can't stop for every passing thought or every kind of whim that pops up. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but let's go on to finances. The 2 that wanted to come out was the Empress and the Lovers. Okay, see how it's all kind of tying back in on each other? So, let's see. I won't take them, though. Give me an honest bump here. All right, we have King of Swords. So there is a lot more decisive energy that has to kind of play out. In terms of that, give me one more. Oh, 2 more, actually. 1, King of Swords. The Emperor. There you are. So you have to be decisive. You have to kind of take control of the reins there. And then what else can Aries know about finances? Now, when I say finances, this is everything, like career, etc. the world. It's putting an end to, I think putting an end to this kind of devilish energy that just keeps kind of cropping up. Also, it's seeing down the line. I think in this way, it's like long-term planning. Like you might be kind of like seeing a week, a month, a couple months ahead, but this is like down the line, like 401k style versus savings account at whatever bank you belong to. So kind of take a look at that and just see if your investments are solid and where it's going. Like any kind of tracking app where you're like, oh my god, like I didn't realize I ate food out that much or bought that much stuff at this one store. I don't even want to see what it looks like with my account at Big Lots or Home Goods. So here we go. Looking at romance. Give me a 3 on those, please. Well, we got Nine of Swords. So there's something that you're kind of in your head about that I think overall there's kind of a little instability. It's not wishy-washy. It's just like you've been going with the flow, but you need to make your own flow. You got to make a cross current here. It might be a little bit of a riptide, but 6 of Wands. That's, you want recognition for the stuff you're doing. And, you have the 9 of Wands back here. So there is this kind of like need to protect your energy because you're always kind of thinking like, what's the next thing? What's the next cool thing? What could I get into? Not in a bad way, but the Fool and Knight of Swords, I am going to put those together. There is a direction that you have to take. You need to be a little bit more decisive, potentially even be not necessarily a loner, but look out for your own interests. I'm not saying you're being taken advantage of, but like I said, there's that flow that's easy to get into where you're just like, oh, I'll go to the next thing and the next thing. And all these baby detours add up into you feeling like you're not getting anywhere. So, because you have this energy with the Empress and Justice, of this growth. But there's a decisive, like, before and after part that you have to lean into, and not just kind of take it as the wind blows. So that is the long and the short of it. Now let's do, these are like an extended Lenormand. They're kind of funky. I forget what their name is, but they're a good time. So immediately, what could we say for Aries? What is the stuff for May that they need to know? What is the stuff Aries needs to know for May? 1, 2, 3. Okay. We have achievement. I'm sorry, were we just talking about that stuff? Illness. Okay. And then we have physician. So, I'm going to clarify this as well, but physician overall, physicians fix stuff. They are able to diagnose, kind of fix a problem, see what it is. What is the thing keeping you from achieving the stuff? Really, like, look at the granular reason. Like, grab that microscope and get in there. Like, do you get distracted by this? Do you have a bad relationship with money? Do you have, some kind of thing about relationships that, you gotta hit the bricks. Like I said, that Ricky Bobby thing where you're like, gotta go. So physician, let's pull one on physician. The gift, okay? Do you have trouble receiving? That can actually be a very real thing. And then we have hope. So if you have trouble receiving, whether it's love, money, achievement, etc., like, time to jump that hurdle. Like I said, grab the microscope and start a looking. Military man. Because you don't view being rewarded as something that, and not necessarily deserving, especially when you're just doing it because that's the way you do it. That's what you're expected to do, so why do you need compensation? Why do you need recognition? It's that kind of thing where it's like, well, wouldn't anyone do it? Probably not, Aries. Like, I hate to tell you that. And let's see here, surprise. Oh, especially if it's like, you're like, wait, I wasn't expecting that. That feels nice. I don't know how to react to it. So, basically, I think you have an issue with being able to receive good things and good things coming towards you. So you keep bebopping off in these directions, and then you're like, oh shit. So, you're like, what have I gained through all this? You know what? there's a little bit of buckle down. Remember the Nine of Wands. It's not being aggressive if you're just trying to stay on track. All right, Aries, that's what we have for May for your major issue, and I'll talk to you later.